Welcome to the Undercovers Cast podcast. I'm Ben, and joining me as always are Paul, Tommy, and Jenna. And the Bills are coming off a disappointing uh, technically home loss, but neutral loss in London against Jacksonville. And we have no one else to blame besides Paul because he was the one person who picked Jacksonville last week. So he ended up putting the hex on the Bills and jinxing them. So, Paul, what do you have to say for yourself for going against the Bills and then the Bills ended up losing?
I have nothing to say. I was literally after the Bills loss, I had like this awful sick feeling. I'm being serious. I mean, that lingered for at least a few hours after the loss. I'm like, the week before we beat the Miami Dolphins, I'm just in this happy glee mood, ignoring everyone in my household. And then Sunday, I'm like, no, nothing is right in the world. Just this ugly ick feeling. And I told myself I'm never going against the Bills again, ever again. I mean, that's plain and simple. I'm not putting this hex against the Bills because it just turned into like almost could possibly two season-ending injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, on top of this loss, that what makes it even worse. I mean, it's just like I don't know. Maybe Harry Potter did something. Maybe I didn't do it.
But didn't when we picked the Dolphins game, didn't Connor pick the Dolphins and he did.
Yeah,
Okay.
Connor picked the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I also picked the Dolphins.
Yeah, you picked the Dolphins.
So I think us
Yeah.
double picking the Dolphins, like a
Yeah,
race.
it balanced it out,
Uh-huh,
basically.
it did.
Mm.
And did for week 1, did anybody pick the Jets?
I don't think so. I think we all picked the Bills, right?
Yeah,
I think we all did.
We all jinxed the Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'm just trying to look for any consistencies.
I was just like I said, once I saw like Milano and Daquan go out, like it was like a gut punch, and I was like, ugh.
I felt so sick.
And then like I just felt like the team just like they either like felt for the guys or they just didn't have their heart in the game, and that's why we lost. And then like I don't know, the offense really wasn't clicking until like the end of the game. We didn't get our first down until what like
Yeah,
39 seconds.
First quarter, was it?
Yeah, like near the end of the first quarter.
So
Literally,
I wonder if that like
seconds
got to the guys, like the Milano injury and the Daquan injury. I wonder if it got to them.
Yeah, for sure. I think that the energy on the sideline was really deflated, and that they were just thinking about like having to go the rest of the season without them, not knowing the severity of the injury.
And then we had our all-time like low rushing.
Seeing Milano in an air cast or like a cast.
25 yards of rushing, I think it was. Like they said it was the all-time low since 2014 when we had CJ Spiller.
Wow.
Yeah, it was rough. The rushing game was rough.
I mean, it really just felt like the offense didn't get off the plane until like the end of the third quarter. I know we had that one drive in the second quarter, which was good. And then we had a promising drive in the third quarter, but we really shot ourselves in the foot. Like Cook had a drop early on. Knox had a drop on third down. Davis had another crucial drop on a big drive. I mean, there were some questionable officiating, especially that Poyer call. But I mean, it is what it is. Like,
could have
I
changed
almost threw something at my
everything
TV
for us.
after seeing that. It was bad.
Jacksonville just dominated the time of possession, and part of it, I think, was the injuries. And even Etienne said, the fact that they were there and they were acclimated for the time difference. I mean, if both teams left on Thursday, it probably would have been a more lethargic game for both teams, but Jacksonville was ready to go clearly. And you got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, Lawrence was like 8 for 10 on third and fourth downs, something like that. Like he was just on fire, and he was making some ridiculous throws like that. That last one to Ridley, I know you never should want to see Micah Hyde covering him one-on-one, but that was just a ridiculous throw, on the sidelines, dropped in the bucket. So, I mean, Trevor Lawrence is a very good quarterback. So I don't think there's really any shame in losing this game for the Bills, but I think it's just like the fashion they lost it, the injuries, and then on top of that, the offense really, it didn't look great for the majority of the game, but if you go back, you watch the All-22, Josh actually played pretty well.
He did.
So we don't have to play in London at least until next year. Hopefully not for the foreseeable future, but not trying to make excuses. But, I mean, the circumstances were the circumstances. Now we're on to the Giants.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think the Bills are going to request to play in London anytime soon.
No.
As long as like Micah Hyde said, that he doesn't want to go there ever again.
Yeah.
You're right about the loss not hurting as much because I know that the Bills can bounce back. Like being 3-2, whatever. We're gonna get some wins back and catch up to Miami. We're just one game behind them for now. They have a couple difficult games coming up.
Yeah, they gotta play. Yeah, they play Philly next week on Sunday night in Philly. Yeah. And I don't know, Dolphins fans are all like chalking that up as a win, but like, I don't know. Like Jalen Carter.
Philly.
Yeah, it's in Philly.
Yeah.
Jalen Carter and Hassan Reddick can like single-handedly take over that game just by living into his backfield. And then
if they don't have Teron Armstead out there.
Yeah, and that offense, like they got the best offensive line in the league,
and
plus two of the best outside receivers.
They're going to miss their most explosive player, Achane. Achane is out for like 4 weeks,
at
least 4 weeks.
Achane's out for at least 4 weeks. I know they're getting Wilson back, but he doesn't have the explosiveness of Achane. So that's another level from their offense they're going to miss. I think, don't they play the Chiefs within the next 4 weeks too?
Yeah,
they play them in Germany.
They do.
All right, so
yeah, they're probably going to have a little bit of jet lag too, depending on where they when they leave. So we'll see. They got those 2 matchups coming up, so that'll be an advantage for the Bills if they can drop both those games.
Definitely.
Hopefully they can, because we do have an easy slate coming up.
Yes, we
with the Giants. Of course, that's this Sunday.
Patriots.
Me and Ben are going to be at the game, so that's going to be really fun. We got the Patriots coming up. We got the Buccaneers coming up. We got the Broncos coming up. The Bengals, even though they look slow at times, they did heat up against the Cardinals. So I guess we don't know what they're going to look like.
We'll see what they look like against Seattle this weekend. I mean,
yeah, that's a better test in my opinion.
That'll be a little better test for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Even if it's in Cincinnati, like if they can't go toe to toe with the Seahawks, then how are they going to fare against us?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And as big as the loss of Jones and Milano are, I think the Bills have solid depth to help, and they still have Rousseau, who they're getting back hopefully this week. Oliver's playing at an unbelievable level this season.
Yep.
Von Miller is gonna keep getting work back in the lineup. And does Leonard Floyd have like 4.5 sacks right now?
He's got 5.5.
5.5. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was 5.5, but like I wasn't sure. Like, yeah,
he's going crazy.
He's having a phenomenal season, and
we got Von coming back.
Yeah,
Von's gonna be playing again.
I mean, we're gonna work Von into the lineup more and more each week.
Don't forget
Oliver's
the
playing well.
Hero, AJ Epinesa, Ben.
Yeah, Epinesa. I mean, talk about the unsung hero. You're right, Tommy. He was probably the MVP of the team on Sunday. He made some great plays, that sack, fumble, to get rid of points. He had another sack. He almost had 3 sacks. And then he had at least 2 batted balls. One he almost had for a pick six. Very, very close.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a straight game wrecker. And can we start talking about maybe talking about an AJ extension? Because the way he's playing, I would not mind signing him to like a 3-year, I don't know, $24 million, something like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like,
cost much in an extensions for sure.
Right. I mean, just given the market of his caliber player, like they at least have like the preface that he started slow in his career. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's
Yeah,
blooming late. So
that's a guy I would love to
they're
extend.
they're gonna
Me
have
too.
to
I wouldn't want to lose him to a team like Miami. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Yeah.
no.
No, 100%. I would love to extend him. Like
Yeah,
he's just all over the field.
Yeah.
That guy, like he's a difference maker. Like he gets sacks. He
Bats balls down
bats. I think
Isn't
he's
that
what like second or
crazy?
third in the league, and
and
like
bat balls.
and
He has
batted
6.
balls.
He
Yeah,
leads the team with 6, and that's 4 more than the next guy.
that's insane.
Yeah,
It's 4
Yeah.
more than our defensive backs.
Yeah, he's a
Just
baller,
remember
man.
in the offseason we were talking about trade packages for a guy like an AJ Epinesa. I mean, he
Yeah.
just
Hey,
completely
I'll
cut the
say
deal
this.
on that.
I never wanted to trade AJ Epinesa because you need all the impact pass rushers, and what's that, late round pick gonna get you? Like you
Yeah.
saw what you got for Boogie Basham. I mean, and he's not even doing anything for the Giants. So I'm so
Yeah.
glad we made the choice to keep
Right.
Epinesa over
Mhm.
Basham, because that ended up being the right move.
Mm-hmm.
No questions asked. And I know a lot of people were complaining. It's like, oh, the Giants fleeced us again.
Yeah.
Boogie Basham. We should have traded Epinesa. Basham has 2 more years, and he is more versatile or whatever, better against the run. But as far as a pass rusher and like a pure difference maker, like AJ Epinesa is just a playmaker. And what about Kingsley Jonathan as well? He had a sack fumble, and that guy has had some really big flash plays rushing the pass for these past couple of games. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting. The Bills are going to have a crazy pass rush mix.
Yeah.
So that should really help. I feel like, with the loss of some of these guys on defense, we also haven't seen Puna Ford, and I'm interested to see what he can do. Yeah, for all the people saying we need to trade for a defensive tackle or bring back Phillips, like, why don't we see what Puna's got? Like, Puna is a solid player. He's got 63 starts in his career, and is a good player in Seattle at one point. So
Right.
I want to see what we got in Puna before we pull the trigger on another D tackle. Like, we have a deep roam. That's why Puna was inactive. Sean McDermott said it was a pure numbers thing, really. So I hope we get to see Puna get a chance. And then linebacker, I liked what I saw from Williams. He did struggle a little bit, which is why he pulled, but he did have some nice flashes, and you can see the potential there. So I hope he can actually be the other starting linebacker the rest of the season, but we'll see, because we did sign Klein to the active roster, but I think that's more like insurance. But I mean, Dotson actually,
back too.
yes, Spector's coming back, but Dotson actually didn't play terribly in that Jags game. Like, for as much crap as all of us gave Terrell Dotson and wanted him off this team, like, I mean, he wasn't half bad, coming in and replacing Matt Milano, who's an All-Pro. So I don't. I mean, against the pass, he is going to be a liability, but that's when you bring in, Williams, and then in the run situations, that's when you bring in Dotson. You can mix it up, and like you mentioned, we have Spector, and I'd like to see what Spector's got as well. Like,
I would too. Yeah, definitely.
It seems like there's more hits than misses. When it comes to linebackers for being like between Milano, Bernard, even Edmonds. I mean, Edmonds definitely wasn't a bust. Like, he was still a good player. He just wasn't like an elite playmaker, like Bernard has been. But I feel, I mean, I won't be shocked if Spector isn't a half bad player. And I think between the three of them, you might have something that's maybe it's like a 70% of what Milano did. Maybe.
The interesting thing with Dorian and Spector, this situation might come down who's riding the hot hand at the particular moment and who gets more snaps than the other. I think, with Dorian, I guess, I mean, he's this big physical dude. I mean, he could probably do everything that the Tremaine Edmonds did last year for the Bills. But I mean, as he gets more experience and playing time, but he's also very athletic, and so he kind of brings that mini Milano type thing. And then there's Spectre, who is just like it seems like during the preseason got this nickname of being like a mini Milano. Like he's small, but he's super athletic and do everything that Milano can do. So I guess you could say it's a good, in a way, it's a good spot for the Bills to be in, because you got these two young linebackers that are ready to be groomed and ready, and that are looking for this opportunity to put their imprint on the league, put their imprint on Bean, put the imprint on McDermott, and here they are. I mean, we're going to week 6 this week, so I mean, it's time for one of them to shine, and hopefully one of them can take the reins. So I mean, Bean done a great job this offseason in really just blocking out all the haters, saying that the Bills need to get their one huge piece away. And all Bean did is like, we just need a couple small little pieces so we can plug and play, just in case something like this happens, and so we don't have to spend our cash for next season, because we have it all in house right now. And if something bad happens, just like on Sunday, it's like next man up, you go in, and McDermott and Bean expect them to play well. And I think that's what we're going to get the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, for sure. And in regard to Milano and Daquan, their timeline has not been set with returning from injury. So there is a slight possibility that they could come back towards the end of the year, like with the playoffs in front of us.
Yep.
So who knows? We'll have to keep our eyes out on that. And if McDermott has hope, then we should have hope too.
100%. Yeah. When he said that there's a slight chance, like it boosted me up. It made me feel a little better today once hearing that news from McDermott.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, like the fact that Milano has his ACL and his ligaments were spared. Like, I mean, maybe he had an MCL injury, which can heal by itself if it's not a total tear.
But the corner is amazing.
Yeah. Oh my! I was like praying for that. That's a miracle that his ACL was spared. But prayers up to Milano and Daquan. They're gonna come back better than ever.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Now, our game coming up on Sunday. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, the Giants are definitely beat up, and just going by the line, like, you think the Bills are beat up? Go look at the Giants injury report. They're basically their whole offensive line, Saquon Barkley. They got some players on defense who are banged up as well. Their quarterback's hurt. Wandell Robinson, Waller, like the list goes on and on. Yeah, Ojulari, they got a ridiculous injury list, and yet 14.5 points is a lot. So I don't know. I feel pretty good about this game, but you have the possibility where the Bills are coming back from London. They might play Tyrod Taylor and Brian Daboll homecoming. Like, I don't know. This is just a weird game to me. Like, I think the Bills should win this game, but the NFL, any given Sunday, weird stuff happens. And I almost prefer Daniel Jones to play this game, to be honest, and Tyrod, even though he's the backup, because look at Daniel Jones' record in primetime, and Jones has not been good at all this season. He's been holding on to the football, making terrible decisions, staring down his receivers. Tyrod doesn't turn it over. He's mobile, and we don't really have tape on him. And, it's just, when you got Tyrod Taylor going back to Buffalo and Brian Daboll, Isaiah Hodgins, and Cole Beasley, like
Matt Breida,
like something. I don't feel great about this game. Just it's a weird situation to me. Like, it's a lot of old Bills. I mean, I think we should still take care of business, but I think it might be like, the line is 14.5. I think it's going to be,
but it's not.
Yeah, no, it is a trap game. I think it's gonna honestly, I think this game is gonna come down to the wire. I think we do win in the end.
Mhm.
But like I think this Giants team, like, I don't know, like I'm a little concerned just because we're coming back from London and we are missing some guys on defense. But if Saquon Barkley doesn't play, I think that really favors the Bills, just because the Giants' weapons are not good at all.
Yeah.
The way I see,
Go ahead.
the way I see this game is, I think our D line takes this game over. I think there's a chance our D line could have between 10 to 15 sacks in this game.
Imagine if they had
record?
15 sacks.
Might
What-
break
I think
record.
what's the record?
I think it's like 11 or
Is it
12.
11? I think it's
No,
11.
I don't think it's 11 because I thought
No.
the Seahawks had 11. I think it's like 13 or
Is it
14.
13 and 14. But,
Jeez, in
think
one
it's-
game.
I
Yeah.
mean, I just imagine though, if Russo's back, Shaq Lawson's back. You have your whole defensive ends playing. Like, I feel like they could take over this game, and the Giants just won't have any answers for our
It was
for our
14.
front.
By
Yeah,
who?
14. Wow.
Yeah, by the
Oh.
Eagles.
And then, like I said, and then you give, we have Josh Allen back there, so it's like, and the way it's looking, I think Dalton Kincaid did practice today in a limited form, and Knox practiced too, so that's really good signs for both of them to play. So
Yeah.
if we could have our arsenal on offense, I think, like I said, I think this game could be even more than 14 points. I think we could win maybe by 21.
That's the thing. I listen to Buffalo radio every time I go into school. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, if you listen to Buffalo radio, they're basically giving this game straight to Buffalo. They think it's a complete wash,
Yeah.
and it's like the Giants don't even show up. That's the feeling you get listening to local radio around here.
Right.
It kind of feels kind of like the Dolphins game, where the Dolphins were like, Bills, don't even show up. We're gonna punch you in the face. It kind of gets me that vibe, and kind of to go on to Ben's point is like, well, the Dolphins have that vibe. So if we're in here, Vegas is giving the Giants no chance. I mean, Bills media and local radio is giving them no chance. It's like, well, hold on. I mean, you still have to play this game. I mean, even though the Giants on paper right now don't look good, they haven't been playing good, but there's like this weird thing. It's like Dable back to Buffalo. I mean, like literally half of the Giants team is like built off Bills players. It was like this weird dynamic. Do I think the Bills win this game? I completely think the Bills win. But do they win by 14? I think they do win at least by 2 or more scores. But most of those points will come later in the game. I think this game is going to be much tighter early, and then the offense starts getting going again late. I don't know why. Just because you just look at how the Bills played last game. It was just like the offense couldn't do anything, but the defense was able to do some things. Hopefully this changes this week, where the offense can do more than what the defense can do, or balance both. Because when both are working, offense and defense, I mean, the Bills are the team that you don't want to face on any Sunday, because I mean, we're winning by we're winning by 30 points if both offense and defense is working. And any given Sunday, it doesn't matter who we face. I mean, I heard this saying on the radio this morning: is either the Bills win by 30 or they lose by 3. And I kind of have that same feeling too. It just how
there's like no in between. Like, I think they're like 6 and 11 or 6 and 13 in one score games in the last 3 years. Like, it's not a good record.
Great. Are y'all concerned about Dane Jackson's foot injury?
So I was looking at the all 22, and I noticed that they were like on the Jaguars' second drive, probably the first play of that drive. Taron Johnson was sweeping across the middle to the right side of the defense, and he looks to accidentally step on Dane Jackson's foot, like at the back of his foot.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. So, I mean, if that was the case, maybe they would have listed him as ankle, but it seems like he he nipped him a little bit, and you see Dane kind of like pop up and like kind of like shake it off and then run to tackle
Right.
the receiver. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at the rest of it to see if there's anything more apparent that would cause a foot injury. So I'm just gonna leave that for now. That he was stepped on. The fact that he didn't practice today is, that's not great. We'll see what happens tomorrow and Thursday. Maybe he'll get back on a limited basis, but it's nice to see that Kincaid is practicing in a limited capacity. So that shows that he's progressing in the concussion protocol.
Another question I had is, Kyer, do y'all think he has a rebound game after last week?
I think he does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
He's
got to be better. I mean, I don't see how.
Yeah, if he doesn't rebound versus Isaiah Hodgins and Jalen Hyatt, then we might have some big concerns with our former first round corner. I mean, we already kind of do, just due to the fact that he's been buried on the depth chart, but we do have a deep corner room, and I will give him the benefit of he's facing a very good receiver, top 10 borderline, top 10 receiver. And he hasn't played the last 4 games. And the NFL, you honestly just need reps and consistency. Like, I think it's hard for any corner. Like, if Tre'Davious White was healthy and you put him out there, I mean, I think he does better than 6 receptions allowed, out of 8 targets or whatever it was. But I still have hope for Kyer Elam just based off his physical attributes. And it was his first game. We're still missing even Benford, who at this point is our corner 1. So if Christian Benford is healthy, I have a lot more confidence, with Kyer Elam. I think Elam's going to play better opposite Benford. And I also think getting Rousseau and Vaughn back into the mix is going to help. I think linebackers really our biggest concern at this point, but I guess it's to Dorian Williams and Dodson to kind of just man that ship for now, unless we do decide to make a trade. There are some guys on the market available for trade. I know Rashaan Evans just got signed by Dallas today, if I'm not mistaken. So
no, I think he was a visit. Didn't he just do a visit there?
Oh, okay. He didn't sign.
I don't think he signed.
I knew he visited, but I thought I heard he signed. But either way, I mean, there are guys on the market for trade. And if Elam does continue to struggle, I mean, there are options there too. I would look at Adoree Jackson. By the way, I know a lot of people are pounding the table for Surtain, and as much
this weekend,
as much as I would love Surtain, and that's a big pipe dream, I just don't see it happening. The fact not only that you got to pay this guy, top 5 corner money soon, it's what it's going to cost to trade for him. Like, look at the Minkah Fitzpatrick trade. Look at the Jamal Adams trade. Like, for premier defensive backs, it's not cheap to trade for them, especially to get a lockdown corner in his prime who could play man and zone and is one of the best in the game. Like, I'm sorry. I'm putting that to bed right now. I don't think the Bills are going to get Surtain. I mean, there are other Broncos who we could get. I think, there's someone else who we might go after depending how things go, but I don't see us getting Surtain. But Adoree Jackson, like you mentioned, Paul, we'll get a good look at him Sunday, and I think he'd play better in his zone anyways versus, that island man coverage that Wink plays where he leaves his receivers out with no help. And speaking of that, I think, we should be able to pass all over this Giants defense this Sunday. So I think the offense should be able to get back on track.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to slightly disagree with you, Ben, on one statement, and it's this, that our biggest weakness is at linebacker rather than corner. I actually think it's opposite. I mean, just based off watching last week's game, I think our biggest weakness is actually at corner rather than
but that's in a vacuum. We were missing our corner 1 in that game. So when we get Benford back, if you have Benford and Jackson at least, like that's solid. That's what we had
that
for a
worked,
while.
but I guess to me personally, I don't think Benford is suited as for the role of cornerback 1. I would
Yep.
rather keep him as my
Yeah.
cornerback 2. And
Well,
obviously, Trey White's not available, so
it
he
is
has to
next
go to
man
DB.
up. So
Yeah.
that's his role right now, corner 1.
Also, we have more veterans in the linebacking room. We got AJ Klein
Yeah.
and Tyrell Dodson in there for corner. We just have Dane Jackson, and what are you gonna get? Josh
Neither of them
Norman.
look good.
Josh,
No.
I mean, we did
Right
sign
now.
Josh Norman, Jenna. Like,
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, are
that's
you gonna
an
bring up
impact
Josh Norman?
signing.
I don't
right
know,
there.
man.
35 years old too, Ben. You know,
Yeah.
Hey,
you have any juice left in
him
them
to be like
legs.
a
we'll see.
veteran player.
I like to think that's like a player coach role for Kyer Elam, because I know there are some, rumblings, from wherever that Elam, may not get along with the defensive backs coach, but if I think, you bring in Norman to kind of come smooth things over, to kind of teach him the defense, and you don't give up on Kyer Elam just due to his athletic profile, and he is a very hard worker and very smart. So
Yeah.
I think it's gonna click for him. He just needs to be out there and needs to play. And the next 2 weeks are the weeks to play him against the Giants, who don't have great receivers, and against the Patriots. And if he struggles, then you definitely may have to look,
We're gonna learn
at the trade market for other options if he still struggles at that point.
We're gonna learn a lot about Elam the next 2 weeks, Ben.
Oh, we are going to. And if he plays well, I mean, you do have Tampa Bay coming up, which, it's not an easy game, but put him out against, Mike Evans or against Godwin and see what he's got. Like, maybe, first game of the season, it was just, a rough game, an anomaly. Like, maybe he's able to figure things out. Like, I believe in Elam, and I'm not saying linebacker is a major red flag. I just think as far as priority of getting another player in, Williams looked a little rough as well.
Oh, he did. I mean,
And I think Spector can be solid, but when you're going from Milano to an unproven rookie and Dodson and Spector, another unproven player, like that is a massive drop off. Like we've already seen the corner room without Trey White for an extended period of time. And while, the defense may not have been at the top, like we won in Kansas City last year without Trey White early in the season. Like we played well with between Jackson, Benford, and Elam in that game. And, we've had games, without Trey, and it's worked, but we're what, like 8-5 or 7-5 without Milano. Like the record without Milano is really not stellar. So we'll see. Like the jury will be out, going forward, but I'm not sure how these linebackers are going to look, but there are options to trade for a linebacker if they don't play, if they don't play well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as Elam with his performance, you have to take into account that, they traveled to London on short notice, or not short notice, but, with less than 72 hours before the game. And, that jet lag might have gotten to him too, along with being in the defense for the first time this season.
Maybe,
like in a regular season game. Not having any snaps prior to that. And also, too, is they might have prepared for Benford in that week, to some extent, until he couldn't go last minute due to pain tolerance. And they just threw Elam in. So it's like they threw him to the wolves.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Like, I mean, it's not like he was guarding Chosen Anderson or a bum. Like Calvin Ridley, people forget how good Calvin Ridley is when he's healthy and he's played. Like his last season was fully healthy and he played with a good quarterback. He had, almost 1,400 receiving yards. Like that's
he's
good wide
fast.
receiver one. Yeah, he's really fast. He's really twitchy as well. Like he's a good wide receiver. I mean, if the Jags don't resign him, he'll be a free agent. Just saying. But yeah, I mean, that was a tough assignment for Elam week 1 or game 1 of the season for him. I think he'll be better going forward, but this game, one thing I do want to see more is running the football and committing to run because the Giants are bad at tackling. They don't got a great run defense. And like you mentioned, Tommy, last week we really struggled to establish the football and run the ball. So that has to be a better priority going forward.
Right. And I would love to see more Damian Harris. Like if
me too. I would love to see
running Harris.
Run Harris under center. I mean, I even like Latavius Murray running the football too. Like, mix it up a little bit. Like, I like James Cook because he's explosive. He's got that long speed and that twitch, and he's a good pass catcher. But he doesn't. He doesn't have the best contact balance. Like, you touch him, he goes down. He avoids contact a lot. Like, he's not a physical runner. And when they run Cook with halfback draw from shotgun, like that's usually a negative play. Like it never works. Like you gotta, use them, on different style of runs, like outside stuff. But that crack toss they called on 2nd and 1 from shotgun was terrible. So I think, this game is an opportunity to get if Kincaid's healthy, get him involved because the Giants linebackers are really struggling.
Yeah.
I think this is a game to get him and Josh on the same page. 6 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown or something like that.
Yeah, fair.
Get him some confidence, get him some chemistry with Josh. And then as we kind of, start getting into the meat of the schedule, when we play, Cincinnati, Kansas City, Philly, our offense will really be what it's fully capable of because we'll have, him as another weapon in the passing game.
Yeah. I agree.
My only question based off last week was why in what world would Ken Dorsey just say, this is the game, we're going to completely change everything. Like we're going to go to a completely style of offense because we barely seen 12 personnel. I mean, we didn't really see any run game. Josh really wasn't under center. It was like why? Like why fix something when it's not broken? I mean, yeah, maybe you want to try some new things, but like if you want to try some new things, like don't completely revamp the offense and like make a brand new game plan. I mean, like this week, I want to see more Harris, like you guys said, more Murray, like you guys said, but I also want to see more Deontay Hardy. I mean, this was the guy we were hyping all off season, and we barely see him. Like he's only on.
He had his first, bomb of the season that set up that, a touchdown drive. He had like 3 or 4 catches for, something like almost 60 yards. He had a nice little game for us on Sunday. I think he could be, more integrated into the offense going forward. I mean, the defense, yes, there are concerns when you lose a Milano and Trey. It's never going to be, and Daquan, it's not going to be the shutdown elite defense that it was capable of, that you're going to win games because you have such a good defense and you could shut down these elite offenses. Now it's going to be a top 10 to 15 defense, which is so good. It's going to force punts, turnovers, and get sacks, but you're going to have to put up points and win games because of your offense. But the defense is still going to don't get me wrong, the defense will still create pressures, which will lead to turnovers and sacks, so force punts, but you're not going to see, the yardage, the, points per game. It's not going to be what they're doing in the beginning of the season, like 16. I don't think they'll allow 16 points. It's probably going to be more like 19 or something, going forward. And that's fine. They just got to, you got to win with the offense. The offense, and that's why it's important to develop this run game to take time off the clock and, control time of possession. That's really where the Bills struggled. Jacksonville, they had the ball for almost 40 minutes that game. Like they dominated the time of possession the Bills really couldn't get the ball, it seemed like, at all in that second half or first quarter. Like, even the first half, like, it seemed like they never really had the football, and that's why they struggled to get into a rhythm. Like, and credit Jacksonville for having a good game plan. But, going forward, you want to win these games, run the football, because that sets up the play action, right? And
Really does.
Josh has been the best play action quarterback when they do play action. So, keep the play action going.
I agree,
Yep.
Ben. 100%.
Sure.
Because if you take away from that, then it scrambles up the offense, and then you have missed drives. You can't get the first down. Like, just stick to what you're good at, and then you
Exactly.
get on offense.
Yeah. All right, we should probably transition into betting and power rankings. So, Ben and Tommy, how about you go with your betting? What's your best bets?
Best bets tonight. Okay. So my best bet for the weekend is the Raiders -3. I just feel like the Raiders are just gonna like it might be bad for New England. I just feel like it's an easy cover for the Raiders. Like Mac Jones, he's not it for New England, and I feel like all New England can confirm that, because like he's just been awful. I mean, 3 games in a row he's been benched for Bailey Zappi. So like that tells you right there that New England, they're either tanking or they're not even trying anymore. So give me the Raiders -3.
And they're still rolling with Mac Jones this weekend.
I know, right?
All right, so I'm taking a road division dog. I'm taking the Cardinals +7 at LA. I know they got Cup and Nakua back, but I like what I see from Josh Dobbs these first couple of games, and like the Cardinals have been competitive. Like, if it wasn't for Jamar Chase just absolutely shredding them, like that was a game like the Cardinals were in for a while.
Yeah.
And I don't think Stafford is Burrow at this point. I mean, they got Cup, but this is a divisional game. Divisional games are always close, like, because no one knows you better than your divisional opponents. And 7 points just seems like a lot for this Rams team. Like, they've won games, but they're just not a very good team. They got weaknesses at the O-line. Stafford's older, so I think Dobbs and the boys can cover a touchdown. And I mean, the Rams could win by a field goal. They could win 24-20, but I think the Cardinals can cover.
Good pick.
Yeah, I think so too. They beat the Cowboys a couple weeks ago, and they have the capability. For some reason, they're just a scrappy team this year.
They are.
So yeah, they definitely have a chance. You got any more bets to make?
That's
our best 2 bets.
Our 2 bets for the week.
Raiders and Cardinals.
Yep.
Make some money, right?
You know it,
We'll
Ben.
make money off those 2 bets.
Yep.
Give us some feedback.
Right now, me and Paul, we're gonna do some power rankings.
All right.
You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Well, let's see. NFL power rankings. I'm gonna have to go with the 49ers at 1. We're doing top 5?
Yeah.
Okay, top 5. 49ers, Dolphins. Even the thing is, the Dolphins defense, they just it just makes me tank their ranking, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
their defense is just not good. With that offense, it just overcompensates. It's so explosive. You never know if they're going to score a touchdown. They can do it at any moment. Just do a dump off to Tyreek Hill, and he's going to run through defenders. Or Achane, unfortunately, he's out for 4 weeks, but that kid is fast as hell, and he can score. He's got about 8 touchdowns this season already. Raheem Mostert, he can run. Jalen Waddle still a part of the mix. I think he just got his first touchdown the other day or something like that.
I think so.
So they have Braxton Berrios, and now they have Chase Claypool, which I don't really like Chase Claypool. I don't think that he's going to be a difference maker in that offense. How is he going to see the field very much? When they got Braxton Berrios in there, they're just going to go 10 personnel all the time.
Tight end, Jenna.
That's true. But doesn't that mean he's gonna have to change his position?
Yeah.
He would.
So
Yeah.
he can't be included in a tight end personnel set.
Mm.
Yeah. So I mean, they got Julian Hill and Durham Smythe, so they got tight ends. But I'm gonna put the Dolphins at number 2. At number 3, I'm gonna put the Chiefs. Just because it's Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, and their defense is actually playing very good right now. At 4, I'm gonna have the Eagles. Um, they're just finding ways to win games. They're at 5-0 right now. And then at 5, I'm gonna have the Bills. I mean, people might be down on the Bills, but for 3 straight weeks, they were putting up 37 plus points and blowing teams out. We blew out the Dolphins,
Yeah.
a team that everyone's crowning, and that I have at number 2. So those are my power rankings. I don't know about Paul. Like, what do you think?
Well, my top 5 includes the 4 of yours and then 1 inserted team.
Mm.
At 1, I mean, it's obviously the 49ers. I mean, they could for sure. I mean, if they keep playing like this, I mean, they might be the first team to ever to go 20-0. I mean, they're just flying straight and no one is stopping them right now. I mean, if it wasn't for the rain this weekend in Cleveland, Cleveland might just be might put brown bags over their heads as they walk out the exits because they might get embarrassed. But then Eagles are number 2. I just, we talked about it all offseason. Like the AFC is this superior conference. I mean, the NFC is a sneaky good conference this year. And number 3 is the Dolphins. I mean, right now their offense is great. Their defense is a bit suspect. They can work some things out. They're 3 for now. At 4, I have the Detroit Lions.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I
I
really
like that.
think the
I like
Lions.
top 5.
They're
I like
really
them a
good.
lot.
I do.
Ben Johnson is a
It's a
genius.
mastermind.
The snap to David Montgomery, I was like, I had my mouth open for a long time. I'm like, what? Like, that was genius. Like, that was like the
Yeah.
most beautiful play I've ever seen.
I mean, the only real competition they had most of the season was the Chiefs, but I mean, maybe that's what explains their 4-1 record. But right now, I mean, if Ben Johnson just does that the rest of the season, I don't think anyone has much of an answer for the Detroit Lions offense, and their
Yeah,
defense is great.
Aiden
At number
Hutchinson.
5, I
great.
have the Bills.
Yeah.
I just you might question like the Chiefs are not on your list. I mean, you just look up and down who the Chiefs play for right now, and their offense is not going, their defense is okay. Just feels like the Bills have the more complete team. They played more complete games, and they just feel that they're intact. And that's why I have the Bills at 5 and leaving the Chiefs off my top 5.
Those were good.
Yeah, and it's tough because like teams like the Eagles, the Eagles, the Chiefs, they're not playing consistently.
Right, they're not.
Which is, are they both on a Super Bowl hangover?
Could be.
Because they're just like
They could be.
they're finding ways to win, but it's
Yeah.
just not dominant.
Mhm.
Obviously the Chiefs had their dominant win over the Bears, but it's the Bears, and the Eagles had their dominant win over the Buccaneers. But like to be honest, like I didn't watch the whole game, but like when I watched it, they looked flat at times.
Mhm.
So it hasn't been easy sailing for the Eagles either. And like the Dolphins, obviously, like they've been cruising past these really terrible teams, but when they encountered the Bills, they were slowed down.
Yeah.
And they were slowed down a little bit versus the Patriots. So it's like, what's going on? The only consistently dominant team are the Niners.
Right.
The Bills, obviously they had the week 1 blunder. For 3 straight weeks, they were cruising through teams. And then last week against the Jaguars, they slowed down and they looked sluggish. There were a ton of circumstances that contributed to that, but the only dominant team I'm seeing are maybe the Lions and the Niners. to be honest.
Who would have thought the Lions would be?
I know. It's
I
the
know. Right?
NFL is
dominant
fun.
team.
NFL's fun when the Lions are good.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
The Lions are, I mean,
They
they're a
always look
juggernaut
fun.
right now.
Mhm.
They always just look fun when they play.
They are.
Right.
Like they're having a fun time. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now we should probably get into our pick six. Now we have some pretty. Are these updated?
Oh, they're for sure updated. They keep fluctuating every week. Like,
Okay.
I mean, it is close to the bone right now. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at these records right here.
They are
Look at my record's terrible. Paul is on a roll.
Yeah,
Paul's
Paul's
like
roll.
500.
You know, he had the
Ben, you're looking good too.
last week.
Yeah, I had a bad week last week. Hopefully, yeah, up on back this
Get
week.
bounced back this week.
Yeah.
Do we want to start with college first, or we want to start in the NFL? I mean, which
We
one do
can
we want
do-
to start?
we can
The
start
ones
with
that are
college.
fun or ones that actually matter?
Let's do college first. Let's roll college picks.
All right, cool. Do you want to roll through them, Ben, or you
Yeah,
want me? I have them written down.
You got
You
them
want me to
written
go through?
down? Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
I
go
do.
through them.
Okay, cool. All right. We're going to start with a top 25 matchup out in South Bend, Indiana.
Ooh.
The flat Fighting Irish versus the high-powered USC Trojans, who escaped in some wild fashion against Arizona double overtime last week. I did not stay up to watch it, but this game we can stay up to watch. Who wins?
I mean, USC tried to get Arizona State to touch the ball on that punt.
that was an awesome play.
Hilarious. Like
Yeah.
them ganging up on the guy and trying to get him to touch the ball. That was really funny. USC struggled a little bit against Arizona State.
Who's
you know,
Arizona?
Yeah.
Well, both
Oh,
those teams
Arizona.
actually. I think they played
Okay,
them
both.
within the last 3 weeks. They played both those teams. They almost lost to Arizona and Arizona
Yeah.
State. Quite honest.
That but Notre Dame, like you said, they're flat. Didn't they play Ohio State the other day?
They played Louisville last week. They lost to Louisville. Then they played Ohio State, I believe, the week before, and they lost on the last play.
Okay. I'm gonna go with USC just simply by the fact that they have Caleb Williams. You know, he is a difference maker. He looks very good this season. So I'm gonna go with USC.
I got USC as well. Caleb Williams would be the difference maker. Give me USC.
Yeah, like in the same principle where you don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. I'm not going against Caleb Williams here. Notre Dame, their offense really hasn't really been that impressive recently. They lost to Louisville. They struggled against Duke. They won late, but give me USC. I mean, they might allow some points here, but they got more firepower at the end of the day. So,
Yep.
USC's defense doesn't win them this game. Caleb Williams wins them this game. I think their offense is electric. Their defense is suspect, but I think USC overall will win this game just based off their offensive firepower. Give me that. Next game. Top 10 showdown in Seattle, Washington, where game day is going. I mean, this game
This
can
game's
turn into like a 65-61 shootout in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Who wins the heart pounding matchup out in the Great Pacific Northwest?
This game, I think it's going to be a shootout, but I got the home team gunning it out at the end. I think they win by. It's going to be like a 65-62 matchup, and I got Washington at home. Give me Washington.
Yeah, Washington's got a good defense, right?
Yeah.
so does Oregon too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they do.
But Penix, man, the way that he like had like a really great bomb. He throws left, right? He's a lefty.
I think so.
Yeah, he's lefty.
He's got a beautiful ball. Beautiful ball.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Washington. I think Oregon is gonna. Bo Nix, he has to cool down at some point. You know,
Yeah.
it's Bo Nix. I think he's going to struggle against Washington's defense.
Okay.
I think it's a close game too, potentially high scoring, but yes, I lean Washington as well between Jalen McMillan, Rome Adunze, or Dunze, however you say his name, and Michael Penix. Too many weapons.
Many
A great
weapons.
quarterback. They're at home. Give me
Yeah.
the Huskies.
I mean, in college football, I mean, you're expecting a close, high-powered game, and then you turn on the TV and you miss the first half, and one team has 49, the other team has 10.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to this really good game?
Mm-hmm.
But I really do think Washington wins this game in wild fashion. I mean, this is my gut feeling tells me this game could just be completely out of hand. Like, I mean, could we possibly see one team score 70 and this game goes to triple overtime or something
Whoa.
like that? I mean, I still
That would
think
be
Washington
something.
wins, but
Yeah, I think
get your
it's gonna-
popcorn ready because you're still in it.
It's gonna come to which offense can overpower or take
Yep.
over the game.
Yep.
Texas A&M, Jimbo's Fisher's Aggies. I think they're on the road to Rocky Top against Tennessee. Rocky Top or the Aggies?
Tennessee.
Yeah, give me Tennessee. I'll take Tennessee in this one. Give me
I'm gonna take Tennessee too, just because Aggies are a Texas rival.
yeah.
That's a good reason. I mean,
Sorry, Bon.
the picks right
Sorry,
now are all
Carl.
one-sided. I'm going to go Tennessee. I just have a feeling we're all going 6-0 this week. Just have that feeling. We
That
are
would be
0-6 just because we're just straight picking the same team. Interesting matchup. I think this is a top 25 showdown. I have to double check. Kentucky versus Missouri, an SEC game. Always fun watching.
I think
SEC football.
Kentucky's ranked. Missouri may have fell out, so it's close to being ranked. Missouri has one loss. I'm gonna go Kentucky. Kentucky, they're coming off a tough loss against Georgia, but they're at home. They got a good defense. Give me Kentucky.
Yeah, I'll take the home team as well. Give me Kentucky.
Didn't Mizzou?
Yes, Missouri.
Mizzou.
Did
Yeah,
they
you can call
win
them
last
Mizzou.
game?
Huh?
They
Did they win last
They
game?
lost
They
to
narrowly
to
LSU.
lost to
LSU. Yeah,
LSU.
they lost to LSU.
Yeah, they lost to
I thought they
LSU.
won. I'm gonna take the upset. I'm gonna take Mizzou.
Oh, okay.
All right, I like it.
I like it too, but I disagree. I mean, I like Kentucky's basketball program. I mean, I do.
Oh yeah.
But I also like their football program and what they're building there. I mean, they're 24th ranked in the country, and I think they can stay within the top 25 for the rest of the season and play in a somewhat important bowl game at the end of the year. So I think Kentucky, I mean, just for the state of their program, they just got to keep winning. Give me the Wildcats.
All right.
An ACC top 25 matchup. Miami Hurricanes versus Drake May's North Carolina Tar Heels.
Give
Oh
me
my
the.
god, I'm taking the Tar Heels.
I'm telling you, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh,
Give me the
frick
Tar Heels.
Miami. Their head coach, I don't trust him.
Yeah, I don't either.
What was
Yeah,
that?
after
Give me
that butchered play where he should have
Oh,
kneeled it
God.
against Georgia Tech.
He should have
Yeah.
just knelt the
I
ball.
didn't realize it was a kneeling situation until I watched the replay. I'm like,
Did you see the player? His reaction? He's like, "What the fuck are we doing?"
Yeah.
Excuse my language, but that's what he said.
No, I mean you're
He got
good.
it on
Like
camera.
that was hilarious. I mean that's what happens
no
when you got
sense.
Mario Cristobal as your coach. Yeah, I mean Mac Brown, former Texas coach. I mean legendary coach. You got Drake May slinging the football. He looked good against Syracuse. I think he had 4 touchdowns, almost 400 yards. I mean, if it wasn't for Caleb Williams, in any other draft, he would be like the consensus number 1. And he might actually be the better quarterback than Caleb Williams. Like, he can do it all. Like, he's almost like, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen type back there. Big, physical. He can move. He's got a huge arm. Like, he's fun to watch.
Ben,
Give me
keep him away from New
Carolina.
England, Ben.
Yeah, right?
Keep him away from New England.
Yeah.
Tommy, you said UNC, right?
Yeah, I went UNC. Yep, I got UNC.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going the opposite. I'm taking Miami.
Ooh,
Oh,
I think
Paul.
Miami has a decent program this year. Just accept like that weird head coaching decision. Other than that, Miami should have won that game.
Right.
I mean, just come on. When it's 35 seconds left, no timeouts for the other team.
like,
It's
what is he
simple.
thinking?
Take the knee.
Yeah.
That's simple. That should be simple enough. But what's not simple is the Pac-12 this year because every team has a chance to potentially win the Pac-12 championship. I mean, at this point, Arizona still has a shot at winning at the Pac-12 championship. Maybe, probably not. But UCLA, Oregon State.
Oregon
Give me UCLA. I like how they're playing this year. I think they go there, and it's a way for them, right? They're going there to Oregon State. Or is it a home game?
Double check. This one, I didn't write who's home, who's away in these ones, but continue on as I.
UCLA is at Oregon State,
Okay.
but
yeah,
I'm taking UCLA.
Yeah,
I like their quarterback, freshman quarterback. I think his name is Dante Moore. Him and that Chip Kelly offense is electric. So give me give me UCLA. I mean, I know Ugalalevu, or however you say his name, Ugalele. He's been playing good, DJU, but I'm still taking UCLA. Give me the not the Trojans, the Bruins. Sorry.
Yep. Same here. Give me the Bruins.
I'm gonna take UCLA too. Didn't Jerry Ostrowski go to UCLA? Oh no, that was
Alec
I
Anderson.
was thinking John Fina because I think Fina went to UCLA.
Alec Anderson went to UCLA. I know John Fina's son goes to
Bruno
UCLA.
Yeah, Alec Anderson did go.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep.
Well, in spirit of John Fina's son, I'm gonna pick UCLA. UCLA. Let's go.
All right.
UCLA.
All right, Paul. Who do you got?
I'm done for the night.
Yeah, me too.
We haven't even got to our NFL picks, y'all.
Yeah, we just look at
No.
NFL picks. But give me DJU in the Beavs. I think they're a good team.
The Beavs, let's go.
All right.
In a wild
Player.
Pac-12. I mean, you could say if UCLA does win this game, just take the papers and just throw them at that point. I mean, and the Bruins have a chance to get back to the Pac-12 championship. Just depends on the weekend. Pac-12 about to be the Pac-2, and they're like, hey, we're about to make a statement in wherever divisions we go to. So let's head over to NFL picks. Our records for NFL picks are at the bottom of the screen. Check them out. Right now, even though I'm in front, I'm sadly in front after the Jags just cursed my Bills right now. First selection of the NFL slate is the Thursday night matchup: Patrick Mahomes versus Russell Wilson. This could be one-sided. Floor is yours. Who wins?
It's easy. Broncos is awful on defense.
Yeah, Chiefs easy.
They own the Broncos since 2015.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs.
Easy for us.
Yeah, this was the easiest one on the slate for me. I was just like, yeah. I mean, maybe I thought someone was going to throw in an upset, but that should be an easy one. But what's not easy is the second selection.
Ooh.
It's going to be Seattle going onto the road. It seems like Joe Burrow found his stride again. Seattle at Bengals.
I'm going to take the Bengals. Burrow looks like he's got his mojo back. Chase was dynamic last week, almost unguardable. This is a West Coast, East Coast journey for Seattle. It's going to be like 9 a.m. their time for them. That's definitely going to affect them to some extent. So give me the Bengals. They're at home.
I'm with you, Ben. You know, Bengals. I think Joe Burrow's making his strides. He looks healthy now. He was mobile. He's finding Chase. Give me the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna take the Seahawks in this one.
Woo!
Um,
All right.
I don't know. I think we're gonna get an upset with the Seahawks.
Okay.
Picks are spicy
Yeah.
tonight with upsets, but not choosing the upset though. I'm gonna take Joe Cool and the Cincinnati Bengals in this one. I just I don't know. They just feel at their back, and they're just gonna have another "Hey, we are still here" type of game, and don't count us out type of mentality. The game that got flexed out of its 1:00 window and now into the 4:25 slate on Fox.
Mhm.
Not the national televised game because you're still going to have to watch Hurts versus Wilson. But for some of you viewers out there, you get Lions at Bucks. Newly formed Bucks team, Baker Mayfield against this wild offense of the Lions. The Kitty Cats or the Pirates?
I like how they're playing. I mean, Golf is looking good. I mean, Montgomery is a beast at running back, and their defense is playing pretty good. Hutchinson's really showed out the last couple games. So give me the Lions on the road.
Yeah, I'm taking the Lions too. They've just proven to be a top 5 team in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
Their offensive coordinator is cooking up. Their defense is so much improved from last year.
Yep.
I like the direction they're going. Dan Campbell's going to get them a win away in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Lions as well.
No one believes in Baker Mayfield here? Just no?
I don't.
I don't either.
No,
I mean, even the Lions. Let's get him too. All right.
All right,
Interesting West Coast to East Coast game.
Okay.
49ers seems like the team that cannot be beaten against Deshaun Watson knows how to throw backwards. Browns.
He's not even practicing at this point.
No.
And they're missing Chubb. Like we saw what DTR looked like his first start. It was rough. So 49ers are gonna hammer the Browns, even with Watson if he plays. They're the best team in football. So give me the Niners.
Even with rain?
Another thing there, Ben is Myles Garrett didn't practice either.
Oh yeah.
They're leading, sack rushers.
Yeah. No,
I
mean that is something. You need your best pass rushers for these games.
And they're not going to have them. So 49ers all day. Give me 49ers.
Yeah, give me the Niners. Inarguably the best team in football right now.
Yep.
Brock Purdy's playing at an efficient level with his. I mean, he's got so many weapons. I guess it's hard not to call him elite at this point in the upper echelon right now. It's too early to call him elite.
He's on that trajectory though. He's like 12-0 as a starter in the regular season.
Yeah, so, it's unbelievable. Like
it's crazy.
It's like
crazy run.
This
is one of the great
Brady or something like that because Brady he didn't have talent surrounding him as much talent as Brock Purdy does. It's just Tom Brady was just like the ultimate he took over games, but he was the
I mean he did Brady did though have
I know he had Randy Moss and
Randy Moss and who else did he have? Tommy. Who else did Brady have when they had Moss? It was
they have Welker.
They had Welker and who was that other fast receiver they had?
I'm trying to think who else it was.
Wasn't
didn't they have Ocho Cinco?
Slater maybe?
No, not Slater. Oh man,
with Moss,
I don't think they had someone else good across from Moss who was fast.
It was.
Oh man, well, whatever. But I mean, Brady's had talent, but Purdy, this is one of the greatest runs probably in NFL history at this point.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, I said it earlier. I mean, they could be the first team to go 20. If no one could stop them. Don't think this is the case this week. I don't think it's a trap game for them. I think they just go in there, go into the dog pound and dog pound them. And it's just yeah. No.
Yeah, Dante Stallworth. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, that's who it
Okay.
Yeah,
was.
he was good.
Gotcha.
What's the next game?
Next game, it's one of two games that will be hosted in SoFi Stadium this weekend. Rams hosting the Arizona Cardinals.
Give me the Cardinals, since that was my my pick for the betting segment. You know what? I think they come in and get the upset pick. Joshua Dobbs has been playing pretty well. I mean, why not, right? Like,
Right.
they've been in most of these games. I haven't been overly impressed with the Rams. I don't think the Rams are a great team. So give me the upside. It's a divisional game. Like, why not the Cardinals?
Right. I like that pick, Ben, but the Cardinals are missing James Conner, so he's going to be missing the first 4 weeks, and that might hurt their running game. So
Hey, just throw it up to Hollywood, throw it up to Earth,
no, yeah,
throw it
yeah,
up
that's a good point.
you know, throw it up to Michael Wilson. He's been playing pretty well.
Yeah, I think the Cooper Cup Stafford connection prevails in this one. Give me the Rams.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams as well. I think that considering where they were last year, the Rams they started out strong in the season. And Puka Nakua he's really solidified himself as a very reliable receiver, and with Cooper Cup coming back, it's gonna be even more of a lethal aerial attack. So, they traded Van Jefferson to the Falcons, but those two are gonna
Still
lead
have
the
Tutu
franchise.
Atwell.
Yeah. Those two are gonna lead the franchise for this season. So Puka Cooper,
And
Cooper, if you will.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Rams.
Interesting game because obviously, I mean, it's in LA, so it's really like a neutral site game.
Mhm.
It doesn't seem like the Rams know how to play games against their own division. They always lose in these weird games against divisional opponents. I think. I mean, picked Arizona earlier this year, and I got it right. I was leaning Rams earlier, but I kind of feel like there has to be an upset in a small Sunday slate.
Okay.
Give me the Arizona Cardinals.
All
And
right.
Jacob said he likes the Rams in this game.
Good choice.
Yep.
So I guess he broke
All
our
right.
tie. Final
And what
game
is the final pick?
is another game that's in SoFi. Are the Cowboys sad, or are they going to
You know
go
what?
to SoFi be happy?
This is a tough game for me, but I mean, Cowboys are missing Van Der Esch, their middle linebacker, and he's got that neck injury. So this kind of favors the Chargers.
He's got a neck injury, and he's got the neck
With all the
brace
weapons
on
the
him.
Chargers have, give me the Chargers. I think the Chargers get it done.
Yeah, I agree, Tommy.
Give me
The
the Chargers.
Cowboys are in trouble right
They
now. Dak looks like ass.
Yes, he does.
I mean, Kellen Moore knows this defensive team. Give me the Chargers
Okay.
pound the Cowboys.
What does Arnold Schwarzenegger say? Go Chargers, go!
Crap. I was actually gonna pick the Cowboys, thinking that they bounced back, but I didn't realize that Leighton Vander Esch is out.
Yes.
So I got Quentin Johnston on my fantasy team. So with Mike Williams out for the remainder of the season with his ACL tear, give me the Chargers too. I think that offense is gonna take advantage of the loss of Trayvon Diggs and Vander Esch.
Yeah.
So their offensive line, Chargers offensive line, is not too shabby. Trey Pipkins, Rashawn Slater, who's their center? Corey Linsley. I guess they will match up against Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Chargers. I think their offense is gonna take advantage of their defense.
Yep.
I would never pick the Cowboys ever again after losing to the Arizona Cardinals this year. That's why I'm picking the Chargers. I mean, the Cowboys, just continue
They're
hate them
sad,
all night,
man.
and they're
Yeah,
just
they
going to
are very
continue to get
sad right
hated until they
now.
can actually turn their circle around.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Well, I think that's it with our picks and everything. The Buffalo Basement will return tomorrow at 7 p.m. as always with Patrick and Matt. So
Yep.
check that out on Twitter and YouTube. And you can check us out on Spotify, YouTube, wherever. We're on Twitter. So I'll make sure you're following, subscribed, and liking all the undercovers latest episodes for all the newest content.
And
I
before we
think
go
that's
to
it though.
Giants week, I got the real New York shirt on. So Giants fans,
Let's go. We are playing.
repping,
We are the real New York team.
So.
I'm repping my guy Eddie.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got the Beast of the East on. Let's
East
go.
to the East. There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Well,
it's
go
love your
Bills.
Sweater
Paul.
from Wegmans.
Yep. Hey, go Bills, y'all. Go Bills.
All right, everyone. We'll see you next week. And me and Ben are
Go
going to
Bills.
give you some insight into our trip to Buffalo
Ooh,
for
yes.
the Sunday night football game. So look out for some content. All right,
100%.
everyone. Have a
It's gonna
great
be
night.
fun.
Yeah, go
Go
Bills.
Bills.
Go
Go.
Bills.